Friday, November 19th, on a rainy day. We haven't had rain here in Atlanta for about 2 months. Woke up this morning, it's raining. So that means Gary's going to be playing video games all day because you know what? I can do that. It's a nice lifestyle if you can get it. We got a big show. It's going to be a little bit of a long one. So if you want to know, look down below for I'm not going to put timestamps in. I think Spotify does that automatically. But I will tell you what we're going to go over. We're going to go over the sales. Okay, I'm going to put those to you up front. Then we're going to go over 5 things that you should be doing going into year end in your account. I've got like 18 off this newsletter that I found. So we're going to go over the first 5. I will go over the next 5 tomorrow. I will go over the next 5 the following day, and I will sprinkle those in. And I will include all 18. But, you know, today is basically the portfolio look. Tomorrow will be retirement planning. We're going to go over stocks, why they pulled back, why they're coming back, blah, blah, blah. The biggest bear, on in the market just became the biggest bull. So it's big. You've been warned about that one. Goldman ups their target on the S&P, SMCI just killed it. It's crazy that how that stock is trading. We'll look at a chart. Lemonade. I saw how Lemonade reacted yesterday. It was way up. It's been way up. It's up like 90, 100, 106% since October 1st. We'll look at that one. What's driving it? Robinhood became a full-fledged broker. Palantir, it might be time to pull out because, you know, we're not Tyreek Hill. We don't have 19 babies with 16 different baby mamas. We want to pull out when it's time to pull out. An interesting article from Steve Kress. We'll go over NVDA. We'll go over crypto. We'll go over Palo Alto Networks. We will go over Walmart earnings, everything. Okay, everything. First thing I want to start out with is you're seeing TrendSpider on my screen. Okay, I want to talk to you about the Black Friday deals that are going on right now. You can get them all right here on Linktree, linktr.ee. Okay, go and explore them because the first one is TrendSpider. And that's the one. You can get this for about $500. It's $550, okay? So that's for the lowest tier. I would urge you to consider spending a little bit more if you want a charting program. My first thing that I'm going to go over is why you should have a charting program. And you should have one that allows you to draw trend lines. You should have one that allows you to back test on strategies. You know, again, you just need a charting software. So don't think that you have to spend the money. TrendSpider is just a very good tool that I use. Now, think about this one for $550, a year. For 1 year, you get it, okay? And then think about the other 2 tools because the bundle right now for Seeking Alpha with Premium and Alpha Picks is $509. So about $1,000, less than $10 a month, you get for the next year every tool that I have in my toolbox. So there's 2 links that you should click. It's TrendSpider up at the top, and it's the second link, which gets you the bundle. Now, say you have Seeking Alpha Premium already, okay? Then just go and click Alpha Picks, and it'll take you to this page. You might have to finagle with, you can call Seeking Alpha. One thing that Paul wrote on the private Facebook group is that hey, I write to people, don't worry about me getting the affiliate commission. They probably will screw me, but I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. My key point is I want you to get the best deal possible on these tools. And that's it. So if you use my Linktree, great, you get the discount. If you don't, try and get the discount somewhere else. Try and go somewhere. But find yourself a good charting tool and a good fundamental place. If you can't swing the dollar amount because your portfolio is too small, don't fret. Go and use FinViz for your fundamentals. Go and get Webull. Webull is a great charting program that's on the desktop. They also have the best app for trading. So all of that, and you get free, right here, join Webull and get up to 75 free stocks. You get free stocks when you put money in. So go get those things. And my newsletter is completely free. Okay, during the week, don't get FOMO. Don't think that you have to subscribe to the paid one. The paid one is a benefit. I do provide a little bit more detail into the paid one. There's an educational section where you can learn how to trade as well. And it's for like, $189 for the year. Again, it's, a little bit more than $10 a month. But for $20 a month, if you were to get the Gary Super PAC, that would include TrendSpider, that would include Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks the bundle, and then the paid newsletter. And get Webull. And that's the Gary Super PAC, because that's every tool that I have in my toolbox. And that's it. So let's look at the Qs real quick and we'll go over some stuff. Just remember, those Black Friday sales are limited time. So if you use my link tree, just go and see what the deals are, because I'm not going to go over them again. I've gone over them all week. But for anybody new, TrendSpider, I would urge you, that top tier plan, advanced. If it's within your budget, get it. I had several emails from people yesterday. This program is confusing. I don't understand it. I don't know how to use it. It's day one. It's day one. It took me 6 months to just understand TrendSpider enough to try and develop the algorithm. Okay. It took a year to develop that algorithm into what we wanted it to be, me and my trading partner, Steve. And so we developed that. It is a great start. I give you, it's like Gabby, it's like a short person in the kitchen. That top shelf you can't reach? My tools are the step ladder that lets you reach that. And that's what you get in TrendSpider, but it doesn't automatically show you how to work TrendSpider. That's why I urge you, advanced or enhanced, because the enhanced comes with one free one-on-one session. The advanced comes with unlimited one-on-one. Okay? For what? Let's see, $23 a month. You could do once a week, 4 training sessions at $23 a month additional. It's like paying what? $4 per training session? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Jacob, it's $100 a month. Sorry. Gary math. $10 a month. It's Gary math. Jacob knows me well. Yeah, sorry. No, $10 a month. Yeah, it's Gary wishful thinking math. The Qs, the algorithm got you out. Got you out with a slight loss. Again, I would say this one provides you safety and comfort. It makes you 67%. You can see the back testing right here on the bottom, right above that Linktree logo. Linktree the address, you can see performance chart. It says 67%. I backtest this for 24.6 months. So 24 and a half months. You have 18 positions. Okay. When you get in and out of them, you make 67%. When you just buy and hold the Qs over 24.6 months, you make 77%. We all have different risk tolerances. There are people that may want to get in and out of those things. So 67% is nothing to over freaking 2 years. That is a fantastic return. We're in a bull market until we're not. And we can go and look at VOO on the same algorithm. Okay. Same algorithm. It didn't get you out. Didn't get you out. So the S&P, you're still in. I will tell you, knowing the algorithm, it most likely will get you out if we have a down day. You can see the gap. I put this in the paid newsletter, all the descriptions of that. But most likely it will get you out if we have a down day. The performance, 42%. You have 18 positions, same as the Qs. And you can see these support levels right there. So again, the key point is to have a charting program, because look, TrendSpider, you just follow them on Twitter. You don't have to have their charting program to follow them on Twitter. You can draw this yourself. Look at that daily chart right there. Okay, the S&P, we're getting towards the support line that we saw the resistance from. Do we start to see it pull back to this support line of 5,700 and then see it bounce back up to 6,000? Or does this 6,000 support us and we bounce back off of it? Have yourself a charting program that allows you to put in trend lines at the very least. Because look at this quarterly chart from Disney. Okay, each candle represents 1 quarter. Look at how perfectly, since 1973, when you saw that top right there, how it pulled back right here. And look at how perfectly it's sitting up on that trend line right now. Do we go back to the top, which would push Disney to 649? Again, it's quarters, so this may take a very long time to get to 649. But have yourself a chart program that allows you to draw trend lines. The most powerful thing you can draw on a chart is a trend line, just to understand where the chart is. Now, the second most powerful thing you can have is a virtual assistant. And we're going to go over this in a little bit. But Seeking Alpha just launched. For every stock they cover in the quant, you get what's called a virtual analyst report. Make more informed decisions with virtual analysts. The new feature combines Seeking Alpha's trusted analysis with cutting-edge quant ratings. Each report provides This is like having your own personal financial assistant. And it's available in Seeking Alpha. So again, go over and get yourself one of the Seeking Alpha specials, whether it's the bundle, whether it's Seeking Alpha Premium, one or the other, because that's what comes with it. Alpha Picks, totally separate program. You get your virtual assistant with Seeking Alpha Premium. So the bundle will come with it. And yes, Olivia says it's a game changer. It's a game changer. It's phenomenal. So let me pull up this chart, because what we're going to do is I'm going to go over 5 things right now that you want to do towards the end of the year. Okay, starting to look towards the end of the year, what should you be doing? I'll have 5 things a day. One is rebalance. When the stock and bond markets are this volatile, your target portfolio mix can drift off course as some of your investments change value. Rebalancing is the key. The act of buying and selling across your portfolio to bring your investments back in line. This is, I talk about my Apple position being 60%. Most financial analysts, they've yelled at me. Fidelity has called me up specifically and said, you have this large position. You should get out of it. Well, I ain't getting out of it. You know, that's my choice. But rebalance. If for some reason Apple were to take a hit, then the issue is that my portfolio would take a hit. And so most financial analysts will argue that, hey, it's not safe to have that large of a position. The second thing that you should be doing is what's called tax loss harvesting. If you have losses in your brokerage account, you may be able to offset those losses you can always buy back in. Remember, you sell a loss. Say you bought, what's one that's down? Let's see. Say you bought Cleveland Cliffs, okay, at 20. This is in the core portfolio. Say you bought Cleveland Cliffs up here at 20, okay? And you said, oh, I'm just going to wait for it. Well, it's now at 11. So you've lost almost 50%. Take the loss on Cleveland Cliffs, write it off against gains. Remember, short-term needs to be written off as short-term, and long-term needs to be written off at long-term. This is not tax advice. This is just guidance. Do your own research, because your situation may be very different from others. But consider tax loss harvesting and use AI to kind of research that. You can do that. The third thing, diversify. I don't know that if this is a great historical thing, but again, we talked about rebalancing. This is why I have Alpha Picks portfolio. And this is why I invested in Alpha Picks, is because it's so many stocks that I would never invest in. And then you look at the performance of this, it's up 177% during the S&P, up 55% during the same time. All for $359 for the year. You get a pick on the 1st and the 15th, and they tell you when to sell. And you get the access to the complete view of the portfolio, why they picked it, when they picked it, what percentage of the portfolio it is. You get the complete access. But diversification is important. That's why I took a chunk of my money and I said, you know what? I'm going to load into this. I may take another chunk at the end of the year. My father finally, by the way, he saw how well Alpha Picks was doing in his own portfolio. Last night, officially, he canceled Motley Fool. For the first time in 20-something years, the man canceled Motley Fool because Alpha Picks was doing so well in just 2 weeks in his portfolio. So that's how good it is. And that's an 80-year-old guy saying, you know what, I'm going to get off and I'm going to make a change. 80. If you know 80-year-olds, they don't make changes. They just don't. The fourth thing, determine your income needs. If you rely on your investment portfolio to partially or fully support your lifestyle, you'll want to, some people use dividends to help pay their mortgage. Some people, like me, I live off the brokerage portfolio. I have plenty of income. I don't need it. So I know what it is, but understand that you need a financial plan. And if you don't have a financial plan, go to your broker. Because Fidelity, if you want an introduction to Fidelity, just let me know. Email me. How do you get my email address? It's on Linktree. It's up here in the upper right. Just say, hey, I want an introduction to Fidelity. And I will send it over to my guy, Stuart. He has been great with listeners of the podcast. He knows me. He manages me and a bunch of other people, my family and friends. He has done phenomenally. So determine your income needs. Just understand that includes a financial plan. Know what your money is doing. Every dollar you invest makes an impact. If you're younger, you can take more risk. If you're older, cut back on the risk. Just understand what your money's doing. You know, I have a friend who pays credit card interest, but she's too afraid to invest in Bitcoin. And I said, you realize the money that you're throwing away on 18% credit card, you could pay off your credit cards and then just continue to pay that interest on a monthly basis, because that's what you're doing. You're throwing money away. You could, pay off your credit cards and then go into Bitcoin. It's the same thing, except the Bitcoin's making you money. So know what your money is doing. Tomorrow, we will focus on retirement planning. So how's that for a little thing? So we're going to talk about the stock market. Yesterday, U.S. stocks found some footing only early in the session, and it was up, but it didn't keep the pace in the afternoon. And that's not good for the markets. And we're seeing the markets pull back a little bit. The market needs a catalyst to turn around, with all eyes shifting to tomorrow's NVIDIA earnings. In the meantime, Russia and Ukraine, it just expanded and it took the market down. This is Putin authorizing broader use of nuclear weapons in the doctrine. So it's a little bit scary. It did take the market down. This was market making news. So, and we talked about it. Mike Wilson, if you don't know Mike Wilson, for 20 years, this guy has been the absolute biggest bear. And he has said, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. 2022, he was doing victory laps. The market's finally crashing. Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson turns bull. He sees a 10% gain for the S&P 500. Boom. Mic drop. We're in a bull market. When the biggest bear turns into a bull, we're in a bull market. And who else? Goldman Sachs boosts their year-end target. So they believe that the S&P will be up 10 point. The target implies an upside of 10.3% from the benchmark index last close. They'll up it again next year if we start soaring. They'll up it again next year if we start soaring. So let's talk about the biggest movers. Symbiotic, I don't even know the company. 26% on revenue, on the earnings. It was crazy. Let's talk about Supermicro. Okay, Supermicro, we won't even talk about Insight. They plunged on the earnings or the phase 2 trial. Again, it's biopharma. If you're going to invest in that kind of crap, biopharma stuff, you're going to have to deal with the volatility. But Supermicro surged after appointing BDO. This is those damn commercials, BDO, that's their new independent auditor. And they're submitting a plan. They haven't submitted it yet. But what is BDO doing to be okay with what Ernst & Young said? There's some danger here. I don't know. I mean, again, Supermicro announced. Supermicro is up 26% in the pre-market. They were up 15% yesterday. It is crazy. And we can look at SMCI's chart. Again, I took this one out of the core portfolio. I sold out of it. I'm not concerned with my reaction. But in the pre-market, it's at 27. You know what that breaks? It doesn't break this upward trend right here. This may provide you resistance. So if you're in this, kudos. Again, I don't know if they're becoming delisted. I don't know what BDO is going to find. I don't know that BDO won't step down again. But if BDO steps down because these guys are doing some crazy, crazy stuff, expect this one back down to 10. I'm not getting into it. So yesterday I was watching TV and I heard someone mention the CEO of Lemonade. And if you don't remember Lemonade was a pandemic stock that everybody traded because it's insurance. It's app insurance, basically. And then the Texas cold spurt hit and Lemonade almost went bankrupt. I heard someone say yesterday, this one's pumping and how they're doing great. I looked at it. And what was crazy was I said, you know what? I want to see how far this one's gone up. So I went over here and I said, okay, let me look at the date. And I'm just going to go back to October 1st. And I'm going to say, okay, apply it. Lemonade is up 112%. It was up 106% yesterday. So I wanted to do some research. And so I pulled this up. Now, I want to point out, again, virtual assistant report. So you can pull this up in Seeking Alpha, and you can see it's a hold in the quant rating. And they go over the 5 sectors. Lemonade's valuation appears stretched with a price to book of 4.31, significantly higher than the sector. Okay, so valuation, they're not making money, and it sucks. Growth, really good, but again, they aren't making money. Year-over-year revenue is 22%, significantly outpacing the sector. Earnings per share growth declined at minus 18%, indicating some challenges in profitability. So we go to profitability. Return on assets, minus 11%, losing 171. That's what 171,000 per employee that they're losing. Those are my notes. The report says faces profitability challenge with a net income margin of minus 44%, far below the sector of 22%. This indicates difficulties in converting revenue into profit effectively. So let's go to momentum. This is great. The stock's momentum is exceptionally strong with a 1-year price performance of up 141%, far surpassing the sector of up 42%. This suggests a strong bullish sentiment. Then I went to revisions. Earnings per share 5 up and 3 down. Revenue 8 up and none down. And they say the recent trend in earnings revisions is positive with 5 upwards earnings per share and 8 upward with none down, suggesting optimism is on the ride. And they go through positive raised by Seeking Alpha analysts, concerns raised by Seeking Alpha analysts, and they go over all of that. Okay, that's for every freaking stock. Now, let me just point out to you why I think Lemonade is up so much. It's this little button right here, okay? Short interest. Short interest is the percentage of shares outstanding that have been sold short but have not yet been covered or closed out. Short interest is an indicator. Now, this just includes the short interest that's reported, 21%. It is said in black money that there is far more short interest in a lot of these names. If you see anything over 15%, that could indicate a short squeeze. And so what you're seeing here is the potential. Since October 1st, they are up 112%. In my indication, that indicates a short squeeze, not something that you necessarily want to invest in. So I don't think that this company is investable. I think it's a short squeeze, and you could play it that way. And we can go and look at Lemonade in the 4-hour algorithm. And if you were interested in trading Lemonade, the algorithm makes you 68% versus 61% if you buy and hold. Now, the algorithm had you in here at 15. So if you wanted to trade this one, you could trade this at 15. You're at 34 right now. It got you in October 10th. So again, I point this out, not only because you can't listen to somebody on the internet, but because the tools that I have work, and they work really, really well. So that's just my analysis of this one. Let's go into Dell. They rose because Mizuho took the target up. This is right in line with SMCI. They took their price target from 135 to 155. It's trading at 134 right now. Just giving you a heads up. Dell is in the daily stock pick core portfolio. It's great. It's great. Robinhood is becoming a grown-up right now. They were upgraded to buy at Needham. This took the stock up 8% yesterday. 8%. Okay. Rose in pre-market now. It rose 0.9%, but it took that up 8%. And then what did Robinhood do? They became a big boy. This is the teenage. They're going into middle school right now. They bought Trade PMR, which is basically an assets under management group. So this is one where if you have a financial analyst that actually manages your money, they may use Trade PMR as their so that you can look at it and they can look at your thing. A lot of people use Interactive Brokers. Some use Morgan Stanley. There's a lot of other things in there so that both your financial analyst and you have access to it. I have financial analysts that I've interviewed at Fidelity because they have this option as well. But Robinhood's becoming a big boy. They're putting their big boy pants on. It's interesting. I still don't like the stock. I still think that Vlad and that team, I hate the management, but I can't argue with that they're making really good moves. And you can see up 1 year, it's up 330%. And if you're interested, you can read the analyst report. You can read the analyst report from it. It's great. Go and get yourself an assistant. Now let's talk about Palantir, because Palantir has been up. Okay, we're going to look at a live chart of Palantir because it's down 2%. It's down under 60, but I put a little chart together because is it a little stretched? And I said I'd talk about this in the morning. So here we have Palantir chart, and this is just a daily chart. Okay, and I put 2 trend lines in. I put it from the top here in 2023, and then I put it from the bottom here in 2023. See how it traded sideways? And I said, here's one trend line with the top where you hit it once, twice, 2, 3, 4 times, almost right there, almost. Didn't quite make it, but almost. And then you're touching at least 3 lines. And that's the key to any trend line, is the more lines you touch, the better it is. But my argument is it might be time to sell. And the reason is because this channel looks pretty damn good. This is a multi-year channel. Okay, it goes through 2023 and 2024. Because we're almost at the end of 2024. This one is up huge. And so if we go over and we look at it in Seeking Alpha and we say, okay, what's the factor? Well, it's a hold for everybody. The valuation is crazy. And I hate to say it, valuation hasn't mattered in this. Valuation hasn't mattered in Tesla. But the average price target is still 37. And there's 19 analysts that cover this. Now, if we go and we look, is the short interest huge? No, it's only 3.92. This is 100% the retail traders. Now, I would argue that this chart, there's a couple of things. You may have heard of this thing called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. 40% of Palantir's revenue comes from the government. Okay. Now, there is an argument that the government wants to become more efficient, and Palantir may be that software that proves to be that efficiency. But if you don't think that Elon and Vivek are going to take a look at CARP and say, you know what, we want you to do more and we want to pay you less, that's what they're going to do. So I don't know that Palantir, who has been able to charge the government what they wanted, and then you get this Department of Government Efficiency, you know what? We can take you what you're currently doing, or we can expand it, but we're going to pay you less. Maybe their revenues go up, but maybe their margins go down. That's why I'm saying maybe it's time to take a little break on this. That's all I'm saying. But again, I point out in this tweet, I'm also the guy that sold at 25. Just so you're aware, I'm also the guy that sold at 25. Just take that with a grain of salt. Top 5 Black Friday deals for stocks. Steve goes over them. Carnival, Eat, which are both alpha picks. OppFi, Progressive, Prim. So he goes over them in here. Those are the 5 if you want to take a look at them. I thought it was a great article. Again, Steve Kress is the guy. NVIDIA, is it getting into quantum computing? Is this going to bounce out IONQ? Brandon's favorite. Brandon's getting a shout out here because he's been in IONQ for a long time and he has endured that. But is this the one? NVIDIA and Google are well funded. IONQ is not. Is this the one that bounces them out? Oh, and by the way, remember, NVIDIA came out, it was reported yesterday that Blackwell's having problems. Wells Fargo provided guidance today in full production, progressing smoothly. What happened yesterday on NVIDIA? Well, it was down below 140. Did you get it? Because I think, the algorithm said, oh, I'm getting you out at 4%. But I continue to say this one is a buy and hold. If you can grab it below 140, get it below 140. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. We do have earnings tomorrow. In the weekend newsletter, I went way more into depth into NVIDIA about how I saw it responding on previous earnings, about how I think it's going to respond this one. My thoughts are all out there. So, hopefully you have it. If you don't, I would get it under 140. I don't know that it's necessarily going to go up after earnings. That's the great thing about the stock market is I can put my prediction out there and then look like a hero or an idiot. One or the other. It's a coin flip. When you put your opinion out there, the market doesn't care. The market will make you look like an idiot or look like a hero. Now, Palo Alto Networks, this is in the core portfolio, expected to show seeds of growth from Wedbush. They upped their price target from rating at a $400 price target. Okay, $400. Let's go look at Palo Alto Networks. It is in the core portfolio. It's at 383. This one has been, look at the trend. If I were to just put in a trend line, again, this is why you want trend lines. Because if you can't see that this one is in an upward trend right there, it is in an expanded upward trend, because you can see it's dipped down below that trend line a couple of times. So maybe we might be coming down to 372. If you can get this at 372 or 370, grab it. Because CrowdStrike and Palo Alto's Truist says they upped their price target to 425 on Palo Alto. And CrowdStrike, they upped to 375. Okay, both of these names I own. Cybersecurity, I don't care about the dips. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm just invested for the long haul. Again, buy and hold in something like cybersecurity just makes sense. Palo Alto's the big one. CrowdStrike's the grower. A grower or a shower. Those are the two things. Which one do you want to be, grower or shower? And I've got both. Let's talk about gold. Gold soars on Russia-Ukraine fears, and it is soaring, but it's up 1%. It's up 1%. Just buy crypto. Just buy IBIT. Gold has had a run. Gold is nice. Just buy Bitcoin. Again, you could put money into gold as a safety, but buy your crypto. Because you know who wants to be the president-in-chief crypto? This is the Bitcoin president. And whether you like it or not, this is the Bitcoin president. Trump Media in advanced talk to acquire, not only is he the president, but the company that he owns 80% of is looking to buy BKKT. And boy, was it up yesterday. BKKT was up 162% yesterday. In pre-market, it's up 13%. Because now the price just went up. The price just went up. And if you don't think that his son, Brandon, I forget his name. I forget the kid's name. If you don't think that dude probably is the one that leaked this story and has stock in this one, you don't know about insider trading. Again, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong to meet privately with Donald Trump. Coinbase was up 6% yesterday. Oh, and by the way, my favorite leveraged ETF on Bitcoin is MicroStrategy. It remains the top squeezable stock at the end of October. Again, MicroStrategy, total short float, 15%. 15%. If we go over here and we look at MSTR, you want to be in a short squeeze? The short squeeze, short interest, 15%. Nobody believes that in Michael Saylor. Everybody's shorting it. Everybody thinks, oh my God, the value of this one is so, stay in it until the algorithm gets you out. Okay, MSTR is the symbol. And look, the algorithm last added you in at 271. You're at 380, 390 in pre-market. 390 in pre-market. You run with it until it stops. The algorithm makes you 2,558%. Let me repeat that. Over 24 and a half months, it makes you 2,558%. Since I just said it's $10 a month, for the tools, and it turned out to be $100. Don't trust my math. Figure out if you put $10,000 or $5,000 into MicroStrategy 2 years ago, and you made 2,558%. What that is about? Ask Siri. Just go and ask. Go and ask. Your virtual assistant. Go and ask anything, because again, 2,500, and that's, you may say, oh my God, I got to trade every day to make 2,000. I don't have time. Over 24 months, it's 22 positions. You win 50% of the time. So I said the market can make you look like a hero or a chump. So does my algorithm. But it makes you, again, 2,005, just trading this on the 4-hour algorithm. And you get the 4-hour algorithm when you sign up for TrendSpider. So this one and Tesla are just monsters compared to the return that you get. So Again, I like this one. Oh, and by the way, MicroStrategy, they announced yesterday they added 51,780 more Bitcoin. They have $4.6 billion in Bitcoin. This dude ain't selling. He ain't selling, and you can continue to short squeeze it, but I will play it. You know what else I'm playing? In my Webull account, MSTX. This one's up 3% at 118. I think my average purchase is like 90. I bought it up here. Maybe I bought it at 100. Maybe I bought it at 100. I endured this down to, I am playing the algorithm. Okay, the algorithm is what I'm playing. It got you in here at 62. I didn't get in at 62. I forget who it was that asked me about MSTX on a Friday. And I said, oh, you don't want to hold this on a Friday. Was I wrong? I was wrong. But I bought it on Monday. And I endured a downturn, but I'm enjoying that upswing right now. I will trade this in the algorithm. Again, the algorithm. And remember, if you're interested in Bitcoin, but you're not interested in the buying Bitcoin through Coinbase or a wallet, just buy IBIT. And you're not, if you want to buy and hold, if you don't want to trade the algorithm, you just want to buy and hold, IBIT is the one that I recommend. And you want to know why? IBIT options launch soon. I don't know if it's today. I don't know if it's tomorrow. This is going to add volatility to these ETFs, not just the ETFs, but Bitcoin per se too. It's going to add volatility. And where were you in with IBIT? You were in at 37. And yes, I added at 37. I've been buying this entire time that I've seen it just because I want exposure to Bitcoin. So I was buying this entire time. Have I added to it? Nope. MACD's a little bit stretched, RSI a little bit high, but the second options come in, I'm in this one. So let's talk about earnings because Walmart killed it. I went over the earnings. If you go to my newsletter and you just look, the weekend newsletter that I did, if I just go recent posts and you see all, and you look at it, it is right down. Let's see, it's this one, portfolio management. I made a change. I'm going to pause this because it's loud. Right there. So I went over Walmart. I went over everything. Topics I cover. The bull run of the NASDAQ. I bought a stock yesterday. Major change in my cash position. NVDA. And I went over Walmart, PAL, and Target. Okay. I went over everything. Walmart chart is crazy. And what I'm going to show you is I took my Target stock and I put it into Walmart when I did this like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. And what I want to show you is, and I haven't done this, but let's select symbols. And this is what you can do in TrendSpider is you can say, okay, which one do I really want to invest in? Because if I look at this and I look at 1 year, Target's doing really well, but Walmart is up 62% over 1 year. Okay, 3 years. Target is down 37%. Walmart's up 57%. If you take 1 month, Walmart is up 3%. Target is down. You take 6 months, Walmart is up. Again, I took my money out of Target and I put it into Walmart. And Walmart, you can read the virtual analyst report. It's a hold, but go and read this. The only thing that's keeping this one down is the valuation. The chart is a bottom left to upper right. Have Walmart in your portfolio. They announced upper end consumers are shopping there. I am an upper end consumer. I am shopping at Walmart. I am not shopping at Target. So Walmart killed it. Absolutely killed it. And this, again, this is in the core portfolio. So it's been in the core portfolio for a long, long time. It is a stock that I personally hold. I don't trade it. Trading it in the algorithm makes you 55% versus 76% over 24 months. Again, if you want safety, it's a stock that in my mind is a staple. E-commerce is finally positive for them. So they're finally seeing it. Now, one other one that I went over in here was PAL, which leads us into the social request. Trey asked thoughts on PAL earnings. I said I went over it in detail this weekend in the newsletter. Go and read that newsletter if you want. I'll add it, but just know PAL is an alpha pick. And so I don't think there's any use in me necessarily going over PAL because before earnings, the algorithm got you out with a 5% gain. The algorithm makes you 755%. Buying and holding makes you 988. So if you're worried about PAL before earnings, the algorithm just got you out. But I will tell you that that PAL for me is an alpha pick. And I am abiding by Alpha Pick's portfolio. So I don't think that I would necessarily do it justice. Now, if you want to see Powell's virtual analyst report, just go over to Seeking Alpha and you can put in Powell and you can pull this up and you can see it, because there's not a lot of people that cover it. And I will tell you, there's a Trey specifically. Go to FinViz and scroll down to the bottom. And that's what I covered in the paid newsletter. Just go to FinViz. If you're worried about Powell, scroll down to the bottom. A little bit concerning. So if you have Powell, go down there, look at that. That's what I went over in the newsletter. Just something I found. I'll give you some homework. Joel, MLI. I like the chart, going in the right direction. Good PE and growth. Anyone willing to share if they think it will continue this trend? So I don't, again, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to continue the trend. Mueller Industries, the stock chart looks amazing. By the way, just looks amazing. If you look at a multi-year, we're in a breakout. We broke out after this. I think it's an industrial, but we'll look at it. But we broke out after COVID, and you've had to deal with some downturns. If you just put in let's see, we're gonna do this. We're gonna anchor the bottom, and we're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna touch at least 3. It looks like I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna go here. So you're in this, I'd say that's the range. So that range right there would be where I would look at this chart. Now, you've never been this high on the MACD. You've never been this high. Well, you have been kind of this high, but you were just at 82. Would I expect it to continue in the short term? I don't know. I mean, MLI. In the quant, it's a hold. It's the valuation and the growth. Those are the two things that worry the quant. And that's it. If you look at Wall Street, there's only one analyst that covers it. And what's their price target? Their price target looks like 50, and you're trading at 90. So, but there's only one that covers it. It's the number 13 out of 74. Their dividend is great. It's super safe. Mueller Water Products is the number 1 in the quant in this. This is industrial machinery and components. But Mueller looks great. I won't argue that one looks fantastic. I just don't know anything about it. So I would use AI. I think that report, that analyst report that Seeking Alpha does right here, I would look at that. That would be where I would go. And you can see the comparative analysis. You can see positive raised by Seeking Alpha quant analysis, and then concerns raised by the analysts. And I would look at that. That would be where I would go. But I can't argue. The chart looks fantastic. I think it's good. Now, scans. We had MOD. Most of the scans wound up in the watch list, not necessarily in the Dow, not necessarily in the NASDAQ, not necessarily in the core portfolio. But we have MOD. Which is an alpha pick. Again, it's an alpha pick. I'm going to remove that segment. I'm going to remove this segment. This is an alpha pick. Got you right in at what, 120, 126? It's a good stock. I mean, again, this. I think this is one that they've actually purchased a couple of times. Look at that. I mean, that's a nice upward trend right there. We have nuclear, TAC. I think this is a nuclear one. TransAlta. This one. Heading back up there, you can see right there at 1027. If we go to the weekly chart, and you can see right where it presented resistance before, probably resistance again. And that's at 1179. Gets you in here at 1031. So it's not a great one. As far as the algorithm goes, the MACD is a little bit high, a little bit risky in this one, I think. GDX, which is the gold. Is that gold miners? Yeah, gold miners. VanEck gold miners. This one. Nice dip down here to 37. Gold started strong. Look at how low that MACD is. Look at how low the RSI is. In pre-market, you're up 1.5%. If we look at the weekly on this one, it just got the golden cross, and you had a nice little pullback to the 50-day. Might be a good opportunity for you to get in. That one's a nice one. You got a bunch more. You got some income ETFs. One that I will go over that got an interesting one is the spider sector. Hold on one second. Daisy, I love you. But just have a little chill. Have a little chill. I know that the blanket may not be available to you. Dog's crying. Sorry. Yeah. Ugh, okay. And it's not like she has to go out. She just wants the blanket over the top of her head. So XLRE got a cross up here at 43. I'm a little bit worried about real estate in general because, the mortgage prices hasn't come down. So it's a little bit hard for me to get behind this one. But on a weekly, you do look like maybe you're getting a golden cross up there. Now, the MACD is a little bit high. The RSI is a little bit high. But again, I think it's a good one. But I'm not a big real estate guy. And when you look at XLRE, their top holdings, it's all REITs. And so I'm not a huge REIT fan. But this one, if you're waiting for it, this one in particular gives you a 3.19% yield. So it's pretty good. So, okay, we went on for 45 minutes. It's good enough. Remember, the sales go on for a limited amount of time. So sign up for the sales. I hope you found this helpful. If you are listening to this point and you haven't rated me down below or hit the thumbs up, make sure that you do it. In Spotify, I know you can hit 5 stars. It's nice and easy. If you don't sign up for the tools, or even if you did, just hit that. Again, I do this for free. I do this as a good guy. You can go to the Facebook group. Everything that you need is on the Linktree. Okay, Linktree has everything. The newsletter, Webull, the Black Friday specials. It even has my email address if you want to email me. Okay, the private Facebook group is right there. My Instagram is right there. By the way, I had somebody ask, can I call you on Instagram? The answer is no. You will get blocked. I don't talk to friends on the phone. Most of the time when I talk to friends, it's texting. There is nothing that you can say to me. And if you want to talk to me, become a founding member of the Daily Stock Pick newsletter, or just a paid member. You can text me privately on Substack if you become a paid member. But if you want to have a one-on-one session, I do offer that through founding members. So go to the newsletter and you can do that. And yes, it's expensive. The reason it's expensive is not because I need the money. The reason it's expensive is because, A, I don't necessarily enjoy doing it. But if somebody feels like they need help, I want to help them. And so, the founding members, I've developed a relationship with a couple of them. They do have my personal text and they text me about personal stuff. It's actually a pretty good thing. But if you're weird, don't call me. Don't call me. So, okay. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound.